What is up, guys? We are back finally. It's been a while. The holidays did have quite a bit of a strain on us, both Christmas and New Year. So we didn't put out any videos whatsoever, obviously, in the past couple weeks. But we are back in it. It is 2020. This is the year to shine. This is the year the Starion hits the roads out there, and we take her to Banana Island and go rip everything up over there. And also to start rolling out all of our other new projects that we have in line, literally in line, waiting. They're rushing us on this one. I know we did promise everybody that we would have this started at least by the end of this month, which is January. I apologize. I really don't see that happening now because I was not expecting the holidays to take such a toll, in which they did. We had relatives coming over, family from overseas, all that good stuff. Now, I'm not complaining about it. You know, things happen. Family first. Yes. You guys are our family too, but immediate family first. So cool. So here we are again on Mr. Starion. All right. We did get a few extra parts. What we do plan on doing today is actually finally dropping the gas tank, and we are going to be eliminating the tow hitch that came with it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what was this going to pull, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, another Starion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cool. So what do we get? Okay, well, right, like I said, we're going to be installing our fuel pump. And once again, our garage is thrashed. We got pieces of parts everywhere laying around. So very cool. Yeah, we got our fuel pump right here. We're going to go ahead and install it. We did get the correct fittings that we're going to be using, which is the -6 and also the half-inch push lock right here for the feed. We did get a fuel pump relay that we will be adding to this and running directly pretty much to the battery with key switch power to activate, as you all know already. So we'll be pretty much running the line for that, so we can put the fuel tank back in as well, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. All right, so Jericho's here. We're going to attempt to remove this tow hitch. Let's see what they did. Ugly ass tow hitch. Let's see. Yeah, we got a bolt right here that holds it. Oh, it's only in the back only. It's not like a full tow hitch.
No.
It's only just like a hanging on the bumper. Huh.
Weird.
All right. Cool. Well, good welding. The animal was here.
I'll show you when it's off.
All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and drop this, and we'll keep you posted. All right, and there we go. I guess it was just attached right to the actual bumper, right behind the bumper guard. And yeah, if anyone's interested in I don't know if it's custom or if they actually made these. It does look custom. It looks homemade, huh? Something like that. Stupid. Hey, some people might get some use out of it. And if anyone's interested in a tow hitch for their Starion, hit us up on Instagram.
What I'm gonna do with it is.
What are you gonna do? You gonna bench it?
Yeah.
That thing's got some weight.
This thing is heavy.
That thing is heavy. So that's a major weight reduction. So we're already that much faster now.
That's already like what? 80 pounds?
It's got some,
More like 40.
more like 40. Yeah. Cool. All right, time to move on to the
Gas tank.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start by draining this gas tank here. I don't know how old this gas is, if it's even gonna be gas anymore.
Since 1986.
86, probably the first gas that was ever filled in this vehicle when it was purchased.
Then sat in a barn for years.
Let's see. I know there's some fuel in it because there's some fuel in the fuel lines. Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Ooh. Smell good?
It doesn't even smell like anything.
Oh man, it's already old and nasty.
It is. Look at it, it's like not even that strong. I mean, it has an odor, but
Nah, no.
it doesn't smell like. There's only one way to test this. Got a torch over there.
We got a donor car on the side.
Oh, that's true. That don't have gas. That doesn't even have a gas tank in it. I want to put this in my truck.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's like watching those car wash dudes that do the little foam.
No, it's like watching the water show at the Bellagio.
Oh yeah, this is so.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
More cars should have a drain plug on it, because not a lot of cars have drain plugs anymore in the gas tanks.
Newer? No.
They probably did that so people wouldn't jack their gas.
Well, someone did that to my shop truck, and they drilled a hole and sucked it all out.
Really?
I was like, wow. At least leave me some so I can get to the gas station.
No kidding. Or like that time that guy took your catalytic converter.
Oh.
Then you hacked it off.
Hacked it off. Good thing I was there a few seconds before he even got to step out.
It's that California love out here. All right, guys, we got the fuel tank down. You can see there's the old inline fuel pump right there. Now we're just trying to disconnect the connector for the, I believe that's the level sensor, the fuel level sensor. So, very cool. Yeah. Want to make sure we lower that. Don't want anybody complaining that we're using somebody else's music. So we're gonna use big boy right here. Not that much bigger. See that? And we're gonna wind up making a new hose out of our CPE hose, not our PTFE hose, but our CPE hose. Cool. And then this is the same fitting that we actually are going to be using on the other side in the engine bay. The I believe it was an M16 by 1.50.
1.5.
Yeah, inverted flare female to a -6. So that way we don't have to modify, or we don't have to run new line under the car. We can just utilize the original Starion hardline. Sorry. Say it again. Starion hardline.
Starion.
Starion. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and figure this out and see what we can do about it. All right, guys, we're gonna try to roll with this right here. We got the factory mount from the Starion's old fuel pump right here that we removed, so we ain't gonna be needing that no more. So our I always forget. I think it's 390 liters per hour. Or is it 400?
390.
390 liter per hour fuel pump that we're running here. Obviously, it's a lot bigger, a lot girthier than the original one right there. So what we had to wind up doing was we had to weasel this on because our pump did not come with the little insulator right here, and I didn't want to put this on. I don't think it's a good idea to put the bracket straight onto the pump because the vibration on the metal on metal is not good. So we managed to weasel this one from this one onto here, and then what we wound up doing was flattening out the bracket a little bit and actually having to drill it out a little bit just so we can put the longer bolt and nut on there. But other than that, I mean, it's a lot longer too, but I mean, if we position it properly, it should be pretty close to the same one. We are going to still be trying to use the original feed line, feed hose off the Starion. It still looks pretty good. It's still pliable. It's not brittle or anything like that. It looks like it was changed. This does look like an aftermarket fuel pump. Oh, okay, look at that. It's actually a Walbro. Okay. So this is probably like maybe a 255 liter an hour. I'm not 100% sure. But there we go, the fuel pump. And this does actually look new. Doesn't look like the previous owner used it, because I remember the previous owner was working on it, but he obviously never got it back together.
Solid.
So I guess if anyone's looking for a Walbro for their
Starion.
For their stallion, Japanese stallion, hit us up. We always have great prices on our original Starion or even aftermarket. Yeah. So, all right, cool.
It's not a Starion, it's a Conquest.
Oh, yeah, now it's a Conquest. Now it's a Conquest. All right, so we're going to go ahead and secure all of our fittings we have here, and then try it out on the fuel tank. All right, guys, before anybody else comments, we do know that there is an access door in the hatch right here for the fuel pump, but I was afraid since our fuel pump's a lot bigger, it might not give us enough room, and dropping the tank isn't really that difficult. So we did that just to make sure it's going to clear. It just makes it a lot easier to modify if needed. Okay, so what we decided to do, because we do have, let me go grab it over here. We do have a fuel pump relay that we're going to be running. This is the harness for it. So we were thinking of, we were probably going to have it, which might be a smart idea to have the actual computer control the ground on it, but I think what we're going to wind up doing is cutting this connector right here, and actually using the original fuel pump power-up to activate our fuel pump relay, and then just run our positive right here back to the battery and ground everything pretty much behind the carpet right here. So what we're actually going to do, just to make it look cleaner, a little bit more, a lot more nicer, is we pulled out the connector for the fuel pump, the female side of it, and also the fuel level sensor connector. And so what we want to do is we're going to depin this, and we are going to pretty much put the wires on this side of the grommet so we can return this back into the tank area and put the grommet back on without damaging it or anything like that. So it gives it that little factory look, and we have a plug and play on that. So if we ever need to service it for whatever reason, we don't need to cut it or anything like that. So anyway, so the way we go about depinning this is there's a little insulator in the back right here, and all we pretty much do is pick that out right there, slide her back, and I mean, we do have a depin keys. You really don't need anything like that. There's these little tabs inside here that all you got to do is hold it to the side, and you can actually remove the pin. Whoa. Like so.
That's simple.
Pretty much. So the tab next to the other shiny part right there. Mm-hmm. Pull that to the side and pull out, and there we go. Simple. So we're gonna mark it so we have it on video. We're gonna put this one should be the one with the yellow stripe should be the power one, and the solid black one should be the ground. So that one's gonna be on the right side of the connector. So cool. So what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and open up the electrical tape here, put this onto the other side of the grommet right there, and send this back. All right.
Cool. Sounds good.
Do it. All right, guys. We managed to separate the harness right here, and this is pretty much how we're going to be running it. You can see we have the grommet that's going to go in through the body, and we ran these two wires through the grommet as well. The blue one is going to be for the positive side of our fuel pump, and the brown is going to be the ground for our fuel pump. And we're actually going to have everything lead up to here. The ground, we could have probably just grounded it somewhere under there, but you know, due to corrosion and everything, it's probably best to keep it inside the car and ground it somewhere in the body inside. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, and we're gonna pretty much loom all this. All this spaghetti is gonna get sorted out too, because the gray and the yellow are gonna get shortened up a lot, so it can pretty much attach to this guy right here. So all we would have to do is plug it in right there. So like I said, it'll be fully serviceable, which is nice. Jericho did mount the pump already, and it looks like it's going to work out pretty good. We just have to probably trim that a little bit and then push it on, and then we got the proper hose clamps for that too. And then when we get it up in here, put the gas tank back in, we can measure out where our pressure or feed line is going to be going to, and we can get that made up tonight too. And that would be it. That'll be our fuel pump
for the night.
For the night. So the red one right here is actually going to have the long journey all the way to a breaker, which is going to be mounted on the wire tucking side inside the fender, and then the other side of the breaker goes directly to the battery. So yeah, so we'll probably have to say that for the whole tucking thing. But after this, we are pretty much ready to
out the motor.
To rip the motor out. So that'll be next episode for sure.
Yes.
So we are going to be ripping out the motor, guys, removing that head and sending the head out to the machine shop so they can inspect it for us and possibly just a slight rebuild on it. See if because that motor has about 200,000 miles on it, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so let's go ahead and finish wiring and mounting up our fuel pump relay harness and installing our fuel tank back in. All right, looks like we decided to mount our relay harness right here. So, and that's located just under the back left, inside the left quarter panel. Right up in there, the little screw already that was holding the plastic. So that fit in very nice. So we can go ahead and drop in our relay here. Ah, need my other hand for that. A little tight. There we go. Cool. So there we have it. Relay is in, and then we can mount this stuff really nice. The red wire, like I said, is going to be going out to the inner fender over there, so that can find its way over there another day. So we have our blue wire right here, and then our activation right here. So like I said before, we're just going to go ahead and see how much we're going to actually need of the blue wire, and then cut it down there and run it really nice, and that way the whole carpet and everything covers it like that.
It was never there.
Factory. All right, cool. We will show you the end product here in a second. And there we have it right here. That's I mean, the top part at least. You can see how we have it plugged in to our factory connector right there, going up to the relay. The other relay wires coming around here, going into the factory mounting position right here in the corner, and then going through the grommet right here. This is for the antenna control module, and then yeah, everything's plugged in there. So we still got to wire in the blue wire and the brown wire. The brown wire I wound up grounding right here, so to the bumper mounting bolt right there, and then we'll be wiring up to the fuel pump, but we'll probably be able to do that when it comes up through here. So we'll have to see if we can do that. Hopefully it gives us access enough for it through the factory access hole, and then we can start making up our fuel line for that. All right, we're about to reinstall our fuel tank here. You can see I put a fresh return hose on it because the return hose was looking pretty brittle. I just didn't trust it. And then we already got our feed line attached to the fuel pump. So right now Jericho is looming up the two wires for the fuel pump with what kind of loom is this called?
Braided.
Just braided. All right, that's simple. So with the braided nylon braided just for the rubbing to prevent it from eating through the wires. So it's looking pretty clean. It's not a bad way. And then obviously if somebody was just leaving the stock Starion or even that Walbro on there, the smaller one that they can access through the access hole right there, you know, it should be no problem for them to hook up something like this. I feel like maybe in like an hour, huh? Maybe.
Within an hour.
An hour maybe. Well, we haven't ran that red line, the red wire yet. So there's the little breaker for that red wire, that 10 gauge. It'll be running to the battery, so we'll be mounting that, like I said, in the inner fender. So cool. Yeah, I know. Look at that factory-ness. Alright guys, and there we have it. We have our fuel pump. Everything in the fuel tank section is complete, minus that one red wire that we just need to run to the front, to the battery. You can see our fuel supply line right there, that braided line. It's kind of frayed a little bit, but it's okay. It's just the nylon braiding on it. So that's okay. Nobody's going to see that, but you guys, so we'll keep that a secret. So yeah, let me see if I can get my camera up in here better. Nope, it's too dark. Okay, so it was a really short run. It's only a few inches. It's only a few inches there to our adapter fitting, and then also our return line, which is here, which I said I did replace it to a new hose, just for good measure. And yeah, that's it for that back here. So we're all done with our fuel supply. Just a quick update. Once again, I know we did mention that next time. So next week we actually will be removing the motor finally to start freshening it up, then cleaning everything, welding up our bracket for our power steering reservoir. Also, we were trying to figure out what type of blow-off valve we wanted to run on it, and we had a bunch of different options. Could have went with the tail or tile style of blow-off valve. We could have did, obviously, that we did order a Blitz style, not the VD, but the original Super Sound. And Jericho likes that one so much. Actually, he's using
on my Evo.
it's on his Evo, and he's currently using that. So I guess we're not going to be using that. So we're gonna wind up going with one of my favorites, and that is the Super Sound blow-off valve. And actually, we're gonna be running 2 Super Sound blow-off valves just because it's should be twice as loud.
Why 2?
What do you mean? Why 2?
Why are we doing 2?
Oh, why are we putting 2 on there? Well, there is a perfectly good explanation on why we're running 2 of these blow-off valves. And let me explain. It is because I couldn't fit the 3rd one on there. So, but no, and no joke. We are gonna run 2, just to be different. The 2 style, it reminds me of the older or the early 90s, late 80s style. Kind of like the R32s used to run them with the twin blitz. So we're gonna run those, and we're probably gonna put them side by side down here. And move this hose out of the way.
Or something like this.
No, not with that file right there. Somewhere around there, just facing kind of upward. And luckily, obviously, the flanges are round, so we can position them however we want. And it just kind of gives it that unique look. And just dying to hear what 2 of these sound like going off. So
That'd be crazy.
So comment what you guys think in the comments below. And then, or if you don't like them, you can always let your hate flow in it. But we're still going to run 2, no matter what. And once again, I would love to run 3 because we're weird. But there's no room for it. So.
No room.
No, so we're going to have to just stick with 2. And for whatever reason, I remember once upon a time, these blow-off valves used to be about $25. Believe it or not.
Right.
And there was an abundant supply of these blow-off valves. For whatever reason, it's very difficult or expensive to get these blow-off valves now.
I couldn't find them.
So we went through a couple vendors that said they had them, and then they didn't. We wanted silver ones to kind of match our whole scheme here, but nobody had the silver ones. China says they had the silver ones, but we're not, we didn't want to wait a month to get them, or afraid we'd never get them. Yeah. So we decided to go with gold. I said, why not? Just put gold.
Yeah.
And then that fell through.
And yeah,
they said, we don't have any more. So we went one more. I'm like, okay, go blue. At least we can match the oil cooler. So they did have the blue, and how much were those each?
$19.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it came out a good deal because I got 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So $19.
So basically for the pair,
it's like 40 and some change because of shipping, maybe. And you got that through Amazon or eBay? eBay, that's right. Amazon has been dropping the ball on all of our parts we've been ordering for whatever reason. I'm just probably going to blame the pre-holiday. So, but eBay always seemed to pull through no matter what. So cool, guys. We are trying to work on this thing double time as much as we can. We did actually work on this for quite a few hours today. More than normal. I know it might not seem like it, but we really wanted to get that fuel pump in, the fuel supply ready, so we get ready to remove the motor and start disassembling it. Mm-hmm. Because everything else, like the finishing up the fuel, can go in after, because we already know the supply line's already too, and then just going from the fuel cooler to the ethanol sensor, which we don't have yet. That's cool. It's not a big deal. You can always plant that in there. And also our MazWorks manifold should be coming sometime next week. That can actually be built on the engine stand. So I'm not worried about that either. yeah, dude, that's pretty much it.
So next week you see us. This is coming all
It's
off.
coming out.
And we're going to do our final touches to the engine bay. Last minute touch.
Yeah.
And
Next week we're gonna hopefully start early when there's some daylight still, so we could pressure wash this thing.
Yeah.
So get the old Subaru fixed. I gotta get an O-ring for that to make sure that thing sprays properly. But other than that, I mean, I don't want to call it a home stretch, but
not yet.
it's kind of it's downhill. It's like a downhill
From now.
Downhill from here. So we still got to do harness. Still don't have our ECU yet. So that'll be coming. The fuel injectors are coming as well.
And clutch and driveline towards the end.
Right. Clutch we're not worried about because they told us they can do it
in 1 day.
So we're not worried about the clutch disc. We do have everything else for it. Driveline, not until everything's bolted back in. And then we'll do the measurements. They shouldn't take too long on that. So yeah, that's it. And then wire it up, and we have our fuel going to it. We'll have our wires up, ready to fire, man. Yeah. Our battery. We gotta get that too. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be running an Odyssey battery, which will kind of fit right in this area right here. It's pretty thin, so we already did our measurements. That'll be perfect for it. It'll kind of still be under the hood. We were contemplating on moving it to the back, but because of all the NHRA rules and tech and everything, there's just too much to do, and I really hate putting external cutoff switches in the back, so we just leave it in the same area where it went, but it's about maybe a quarter of the original size battery. So super slim. So okay, guys, and we do have our Sleeper Garage shirts up exclusively on Instagram. Yeah. If you want to help support our channel, help support our builds, you can purchase one of our shirts right there. Not the beanie. Yeah. That was just leftover stuff.
We're just having fun with this one. Yeah.
So also we will be carrying a line of Tree Frog air fresheners. I don't have all of them here. There has been a few people that have purchased our shirts, and I have been sending these out to them, just as a thank you.
So yeah, if you get a shirt, we'll send you a little thank you with it. The Tree Frogs, we'll be posting up pics on it on what we'll be having available, and we'll let you know how much, or DM us or leave us a comment or email, and we'll send you all the pricings and everything.
Gotcha. And then, yeah, like I said, you can always check them out on Instagram. We'll be putting up all the products that we do carry. And like I said, it does, every purchase you make, it does help support our channel. We do appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Thank you.
So anyway, we're going to leave it off here. So once again, leave any comment you have below, or
let your hate flow.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Look at those. Woo! Psh.